Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everyone. And good morning. I am maybe just 1 minute late. I'm sorry about that. Was having some technical difficulties today. But here I am, me and my Fox Mog and my tea. You're going to get to see my whole collection as you stay tuned for Tuesday Teas with Annie. And I am really super excited to be here today because, it's just Tuesday. I got up today at 4:45 a.m. and that's what happens when you have a really busy week and you have to sneak in some time to make it to the gym. And that was just a filler for this morning because it's kind of like time to start. I'm really loving doing these things, doing this live streams every Tuesday because it allows me every week to explore a different time of my own personal growth process. It allows me to explore the work that I do with my clients. So I am really happy to talk to you about today. One particular thing that might be blocking you from getting to where you want to be. I've noticed in my personal life that there's sometimes something that's really stepping in our way, something that's really not letting us see the work that we need to do to move to the next level in our lives. And whoever is on, just say hi, drop a comment. I would love to chit chat with you. So today the whole topic is, what's owning you? And I know it sounds weird, but I'll promise I'll explain, and it's going to make a lot of sense to you, as it made a lot of sense to me when I discovered what was owning me in my life and what was keeping me from taking further steps into my growth and into my business and into my relationships and all that fun stuff. So when I say what's owning you, what I'm getting to is, what is the idea that you have bought into that is now the center of your universe? Every one of us, as we started growing up, started buying into some ideas that either our parents or the world or whatever started feeding into us. Maybe school taught you this or whatnot. But there was one idea, and my phone, I didn't turn it off. But there was one idea. Hi, B. Oh, finally, I see who joined. Hi, Violet. I'm talking about the one thought that might be owning you right now that you are not necessarily conscious of, but that is keeping you from taking new steps in your life. Hi, Johan. When I mentioned this, what I'm trying to say is, keep in mind that everything you do is based on your belief system. Everything that you have ever done in your life is based on what you believe is right and on what you believe is wrong. Every motion, every step you've ever taken stems from whatever ideas you've been taught about what's right or wrong in the world. And that belief system makes up your mindset. So all those thoughts that are in your head every day, the thoughts that are keeping you from eating whatever healthy food you need to eat, or calling that dear person that you haven't called in a while, those are part of your mindset, of your belief system. But those are not really the important part, because that's not really what's owning you. It's the root of what's owning you. What's owning you is an emotion. Okay, I want you to be really clear about this. What's owning you, what's keeping you from getting to where you want to be, is an emotion that you're clinging to. Okay, whatever that emotion is, it's powerful enough, it's giving you a big enough reward that you are not wanting to let it go. Okay, so to give you an example, I'm going to give you mine. I think that the one thing that's always owned me, and it's one thing that I'm going to work on for the rest of my life, it's my pride. It's my sense of I can do it on my own. And the reward that I get from that is the feeling of I am better than you. Let's be honest. I have humble in my contract, in my life contract. I remind myself every day that I am a humble person because I struggle with being humble. But it's because whenever I am not, I get this wonderful rush that keeps me on this loop of doing things that I shouldn't even be doing just because I want that admiration from other people, or because I don't want to seem vulnerable, or because I want to seem strong. The emotion that's keeping me there is the emotion of safety. I feel safe when I'm not vulnerable. I feel safe when I'm taking control of everything. That is my vicious cycle, is being a control freak. I like controlling things. And even though I've done a lot of work and I understand now cognitively that we have control over nothing in this life, it is really hard to surpass the feeling. So when I did the work and I went into the whole aspect of, okay, so where's this control freakishness coming from? That's where it really hit me. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is figure out, okay, so what is the one thing that you know that you should be doing, or you know that you shouldn't be doing, and you are or aren't doing at any rate? And what is the feeling that you're getting from it? What is the reward that you're getting from doing or not doing this thing? Okay, so think about that. Okay, so in my case, I shouldn't control, I know that I shouldn't be controlling everything, but my reward is that I feel like a superwoman afterwards. Okay, even though I'm alone, even though people are angry at me, even though I'm angry at myself, that reward of being a superwoman is big enough to keep me in the hole of wanting to control everything. That's what's owning me. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself, what's owning you? What is the safe emotion that you're getting? Okay, so ask yourself that. And then ask yourself, where is this thing coming from? What was it that you were taught? Who told you that you could control things? Or who taught you that life is too short, so you might as well eat all the bacon? Who taught you that people needed to chase you, and so you needed to have your pride and never call anyone? Who told you? What was the moment where you learned, when was it that you learned this thing and things started shifting gears for you? And you started adopting this behavior that is not good and it's not serving you. That thought, once we start shifting that thought, once we start interiorizing it emotionally, because let me tell you, I've known cognitively that I have control over nothing for years. And it's taken me potentially 7 years to really interiorize it. And still, I have my days when my assistant can't get one email in because I'm replying them, even though I don't have to. Okay, so I want you to figure out, okay, so what is the moment? First, what is the emotion that you're clinging on to? What is the emotion that owns you right now? Okay, what is the emotion that you don't want to let go of? It might be even a bad emotion. I want you to be clear on that. Sometimes, just because we want to belong, we feel okay by being victims and by being hurt, and we stay in loops with people, and we stay in unhealthy relationships, even though the emotion is not a good one, because we've been taught that it is the right way to feel. Okay, so I want you to acknowledge that. I want you to acknowledge your emotion, and then acknowledge who the fuck told you that. Okay, and that person did not want to hurt you. That person might not have told you that this was the right way to feel, but when actions, they might have told you that this is the right way to feel. Okay, so I want you to acknowledge that. And then after you do this, after you really go into yourself, let me promise you, this is not going to happen overnight. You want, during this week, and I'm going to give you this homework for a full week until next Tuesday, and you can text me, PM me, whatever you want on that note and ask me questions. I want you to, every morning, I want you to interiorize this mantra. Whatever it is that is holding you back, whatever it is that's owning you, and you know that it's not serving you, you are going to tell yourself, I choose love instead. Every morning, you're going to wake up, you're going to keep that thing in your mind for 2 to 3 seconds, and you're going to tell yourself, I choose love instead. During the day, when you're feeling that that thing that's owning you is taking over you, in my case, when I'm replying emails instead of letting my assistant do it, I tell myself, I choose love instead. Because everything that's not serving me is the opposite of love. Everything that's not serving you, that you're choosing every day in your life, is the opposite of love. So once you acknowledge and once you recognize that thing, I want you to keep it in your mind, keep it in your mind's eye, and then tell yourself, I choose love instead. For a whole week, you're going to do this practice. Whenever you see yourself not doing what you know you want to do, sometimes something that owns us is keeping us from really taking life by the horns. Okay? The bull by the horns. I don't know. This Dominican girls doing Americanisms. Whatever it is that's owning you, it's keeping you from your greater purpose. In my case, for example, going back to the control freak, wanting to seem perfect, wanting to seem like a superwoman, I always did the things that were easy to me because I wanted people to admire me. It was the moment when I acknowledged that it was not serving me that I started doing the hard things, that I started writing and letting people see my writing, that I started doing live videos, even though it scared the shit out of me. That's the moment when things started changing. When I told myself, I choose love instead. I choose loving myself. I choose loving what I do. I choose loving my husband. I choose loving my friends. Whatever it is that's owning you, that's keeping you from living the life that you want, whatever emotion it is, you need today to decide to choose love. Okay? So that is the little gift that I'm giving you today, and you can use it for the rest of your life. I do it on my own. Whenever I'm feeling angsty, I actually say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I repeat it every time because I need to remind myself that I am choosing love rather than fear. I'm choosing love rather than safety. I'm choosing love rather than conforming. So don't conform to whatever feeling is owning you right now. Be a rebel with your emotions. And it's gonna take bravery. It's gonna take asking tough questions. It's gonna take reaching out to people that you've never reached out to because they might have answers for you that you've never even had the questions for, okay? But I believe in you. I believe that you can do this because I did it. And if I tell you my whole story in an hour, we won't have enough time. I fucked up enough times to know that choosing love can save our lives. So I want you to choose love instead. So every morning, tell yourself, I choose love instead. Okay? So remember, just to recap, whatever is owning you is an emotion you're addicted to. An emotion that makes you feel like you belong, an emotion that makes you feel safe. And that emotions come from a belief that you were taught when you were younger. Once you acknowledge that that thought might not be an absolute truth, once you acknowledge that whoever taught you this might have been wrong, then shift starts to happen. And for that, what you need to do is start creating a new mindset, and you start creating a new mindset through repetition. And what I'm asking you to repeat, what I'm inviting you to repeat from today on is, I choose love instead. Rather than choosing safety and fear, you are choosing love. Okay, so that was it for today. I am going to hang out with my foxes and have the rest of my tea. Once again, this was awesome. I think that B is still on. I love you. Thank you for staying on. And yeah, I hope it was of service. Everyone have a great day and rock on. Choose love.